Fam, what's up with the squad? It's your favorite Auntie with Uncle Tendencies. Welcome back to Cess Talks Sports. Shout out to all the loyal fam tuning in again. And if you're new, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you're in the loop. And I need everybody to make sure you like, comment, and share this video so I know you pulled up. Now today, I'm diving into the journey of one of the coldest rising stars in the WNBA, Rickea "Been That Hooper" Jackson. She's 6'2", fluid, smooth, a scoring forward with polished footwork and an unshakable clutch instinct. She's Detroit grit wrapped in SEC polish, now running the floor in LA with a quiet confidence that says, I've been built for this. And in her second WNBA season, that timeline from promising young talent to franchise centerpiece is getting fast-tracked. A mid-season stretch that started with a jaw-dropping acrobatic buzzer beater against the Liberty has turned into a sustained run of elite scoring. One has put the Sparks right back into the playoff conversation. We're taking this from the Black Tops of Detroit to the Sparks playoff push. Every chapter, every turning point, and by the end, you will see exactly why Rickea Jackson is one of the most dangerous young stars in the game today. To understand Rickea, you have to understand Detroit basketball. This is a city that produces players who aren't just skilled, they're tough. Not just athletic, they're resilient. The playgrounds are unforgiving, the gyms are fiercely competitive, and the standard is set by a lineage of hoopers who carve names out of concrete and cold. That's the crucible Rickea came from. It's why her game carries a Detroit swagger, a quiet, unshakable belief in her own ability paired with a blue-collar work ethic. It's why no matter the stage and no matter the pressure, she doesn't flinch. Her poise isn't performative, it's practiced, earned, and embedded from years of surviving environments built to expose the unprepared. At Detroit Edison, she wasn't just another player, she was the engine. 3 straight Class C state championships weren't accidents. They were the product of a leader who could shoulder expectation and still deliver. As a senior, she averaged 22 points and 6.5 rebounds, controlling tempo, punishing mismatches, and closing quarters like a seasoned pro. She left as the school's all-time leading scorer with 1,771 points, a number that doesn't just represent volume, it represents consistency, command, and an early mastery of pace and space. The recognition matched the production. She was Michigan's Miss Basketball, a 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year, a McDonald's All-American, and a Jordan Brand Classic selection. ESPN stepped her as a consistent 5-star and ranked her 5th nationally. In a city that prides itself on hard-nosed skilled basketball, Rickea wasn't just next up. She was the benchmark headed to the SEC with a target on her back and the game to carry it. But she chose Mississippi State. She chose the fire. The SEC is not forgiving, especially for freshmen. But Rickea adjusted immediately. As a first-year player, she averaged 15.1 points and 5.1 rebounds, earning SEC All-Freshman, All-SEC Second Team, and the Gillum Trophy as the top women's college player in Mississippi. That's not typical freshman territory. That's a statement that you belong at the top of the scouting report. She followed with another strong sophomore campaign at 14.9 points and 4.4 rebounds. Then kicked down the door as a junior. In just 15 games, she was pouring in 20.3 points per night, including a 40-point masterpiece against McNeese State that looked effortless because her footwork, balance, and touch were so clean. She was becoming, by any fair read, one of the most efficient and natural scorers in the program's recent history. Then the ground shifted. A coaching change created instability. Rickea made a mature move. She entered the portal, not out of panic, but out of purpose. She understood her value. She understood her window. She went looking for a place where her standard and her ceiling could align with championship ambitions. Tennessee was that place. Rocky Top, y'all know what it is, a program steeped in championship pedigree, and the weight of Pat Summitt's legacy demands poise and production. Rickea delivered both. In 2022-2023, she averaged 19.2 points and 6.1 rebounds. Then stepped into the SEC tournament and dropped a record-breaking 34 against Kentucky. A performance that didn't just light up a box score, it announced her as a pressure specialist on a historic stage. She could have gone pro. Instead, she came back for the NCAA's COVID year and leveled up again. In 2023-2024, she posted 20.2 points and 8.2 rebounds while expanding her defensive presence and rebounding footprint. Clear signal she was preparing her game for the rigors of the dub. She left Knoxville not only as a premier bucket getter, but as one of the most dominant and versatile forwards in the country, fully prepared for the demands at the next level. Hey, listen, her game travels. In 2019, she led the Summer Universiade in scoring at 22.2 points per game and helped the U.S. claim silver. That same year, she captured gold in the FIBA 3x3 U18 World Cup and earned all tournament honors, thriving in a format that magnifies pace, strength, and decision-making. In 2023, she brought that same impact to the Women's America Cup, averaging 14.6 points and 4.9 rebounds against the physicality and pace of international play while helping secure another silver medal. Different ball, different rules, different rhythm. Same Rickea, same impact. The Sparks made it official in 2024, selecting Rickea 4th overall and dropping her into the deep end right away. Injuries to key players, most notably Cameron Brink, meant she had to accelerate her development against the best defenders in the world. She earned a starting role within a handful of games, played all 40, started 35, and averaged 13.4 points, 3.9 rebounds, and 1.5 assists on 45.6% shooting. Her 535 points were the second most by a rookie in franchise history. On a tough 8-32 team, she was a bright and steady light, and the all-rookie team now recognized more than potential. It recognized production under pressure and poised beyond her years. The bridge between the promise of her rookie year and the authority of her sophomore surge was built in the offseason. Rickea chose Unrivaled, the new 3-on-3 league founded by Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier, not as a side quest, but as a strategic accelerator. The format strips the game to its bones. There's less help, more space, a shorter clock, and nowhere to hide. Every action is a read and react test. For a 6'2" scoring forward with the face-up bag and elite footwork, it is the perfect laboratory. Across 14 games, Rickea averaged 13.6 points, 3.9 rebounds, and 1 assist. The numbers confirm what the eye could see. She became one of the league's most reliable scorers in a setting designed to spotlight individual creation and decision speed. But the deeper value was in the reps. Possession after possession, she lived in single coverage. No delayed doubles, no easy digs bailing defenders out. She had to win angles with her hips, manipulate feet with her jab, and sell that one dribble pull-up so cleanly that defenders opened the lane out of fear of the jumper. The constant pressure of a short clock hardened her processing, catch, scan, attack, counter, clean, efficient, inevitable. The open court spacing let her test finishes through real contact, not just through traffic. She sharpened the ability to absorb bumps, keep her base, and still extend into soft touch, skills that directly translated to the Liberty buzzer beater and the late game drives that closed out Seattle and Indiana. With fewer bodies in the paint, she worked on the cadence of her spins, the timing of her shot fakes, and the counter when defenders set on the first move. Step throughs that now show up in her WNBA tape, when teams try to wall her off. Unrivaled also demanded more defensive honesty. In 3-on-3, there's endless switching and nowhere to stash a weakness. Rickea had to sit down in the stance, slide with smaller guards, contest bigger forwards without fouling, and rebound out of space without the safety net of a help side big. Those reps tightened her footwork, improved her anticipation, and cleaned up her closeout angles. Habits that are now visible in her Sparks minutes when she tags a roller, stunts at the nail, and still recovers to a shooter. Maybe the most important growth was in voice. Unrivaled is a player-centric ecosystem. You're surrounded by killers, and the only way to impact it is to assert yourself, call sets, demand a matchup, organize spacing, and take the last shot like it belongs to you. Rickea leaned into that. By the time she reported to Sparks camp, the difference was obvious. The handle was crisper, the jab step sharper, the pull-up more violent, and the presence louder. She wasn't waiting to be featured. She was ready to be the feature. So when the Sparks needed late clock creation in July, when possession slowed and defenses shrank the paint, Rickea already had the solutions. The Unrivaled reps taught her to win in small spaces, to raise her release over a tight contest, to accept contact as part of the finish, and to make fast decisions that keep a defense off balance. That's why the midseason surge felt sustainable, not streaky. The work had already been done under a spotlight designed to expose your flaws. She came back with the answers and brought them straight into the dub. Year 2 began with flashes, but midseason is crystallized. With Kelsey, the offense plumb integrated, De'Erica Hamby stabilizing the interior, and Azrae Stevens back in rhythm, the rotations made sense. The spacing clicked, and Rickea stepped fully into being the primary offensive force. The run began with 5 straight wins in July, a stretch defined by late-game execution and confidence. It peaked on July 26 against the New York Liberty. Tied at 99 with the clock bleeding out, Rickea caught on the move, took contact mid-air, and hanging off balance, kissed in a twisting layup as the horn sounded. It was not luck. It was a balance, strength, and fearlessness, the very quality she'd honed since Detroit and sharpened in Unrivaled. The shot didn't just win a game. It recentered the Sparks season. And the surge didn't stop there. After a single setback, LA strung together 3 more wins. Across this 8-1 stretch, Rickea set the tone to close the show. She authored a 27.9 rebound double overtime masterpiece against Seattle on August 1st, followed by a 25-point outburst against Indiana on August 5th, then a surgical, highly efficient 20-point evening against Connecticut on August 7th. This wasn't a hot week. It was a sustained elevation in responsibility and efficiency that dragged LA from the lottery fringes back into the heart of the playoff race. Her scoring became the weather system in which the Sparks now operate. When she dictates tempo and wins her matchups, everything else becomes easier. What makes Rickea such a modern problem is the way her scoring layers connect. In the mid-post, she faces, freezes with the jab, and elevates it to a one-dribble pull-up with a release point that's basically untouchable. When defenders shade high to take away that rhythm, she rips baseline and finishes with balance through contact, trusting her core more than her whistle. If a smaller wing switches onto her, she seals early, holds the angle, and catches the soft turnaround over either shoulder. The growing corner three stretches the weak side's tagger, just enough to open the slot for her to drive or a clean kick. And when teams send extra eyes, she's reading earlier, hitting cutters on time, slotting driving kick passes that keep possessions alive, and choosing when to reset rather than force a tough look. The bag is deep, but more importantly, the sequencing is maturing. Leadership doesn't always need a megaphone. Rickea's version is steady, composed, and increasingly directed. Under Coach Lynn Roberts, her confidence and assertiveness have blossomed. The staff trust shows up in late game play calls that put the ball in her hands and in the freedom she has to choose her spots. With the healthy core around her, Hamby's all-star level consistency, Stevens' versatility, and Plum's gravity, Rickea plays in rhythm, not rush. On the other side of the floor, the details tell the story. Earlier help at the nail, more disciplined closeouts that contest without surrendering the lane, cleaner backline rotation when she's the low tag. Her anticipation is sharper, her effort consistent, and her rebounding presence sturdier, especially in the last 4 minutes when empty possessions cost seasons. The growth isn't abstract. You can feel it in how teammates look for her and how opponents shade towards her even before the ball arrives. Sustain this in the 2025 All-Star case that she didn't win this year moves from tangible to likely next season. But the hardware is only part of it. What's happening in LA is a transfer of identity. Rickea Jackson is becoming one of the league's most reliable and exciting clutch performers, the kind of closer who bends the last 2 minutes toward her will. In a market that amplifies stars, she has the game, the demeanor, and the moments to match. Detroit 313 built the core. The SEC polished the edges. The W is revealing the star. All right, fam, make sure you drop a comment with your thoughts on Rickea Jackson's rise and whether she's already one of the top forwards in the dub. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and share this video with someone who loves the game. Catch y'all next time on Cess Talks Sports, where we're always bringing you the latest on the rising stars and legends in the making. Y'all keep hooping. Stay tuned. Talk soon. I'm out.